since 2005, we have been promoting Korean cultural heritage in appreciation of the United States support to Korea during the Korean War and in the years that followed. So far, we have published 5 books of our series in English, German, and French, and 1 cookbook in English, and printed 683,000 copies in total. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, and we have distributed free copies of each of the books to 3,000 high schools, 600 colleges, and 500 other institutions, as well as to individuals, including President Bush and President Obama, and members of Congress, and secretaries of the various departments. And then also we have been hosting this kind of event to present Korean cultural films and to serve Korean traditional meals at various venues, such as, of course, libraries and museums, high schools and colleges, Rotary clubs, Lions clubs, and women's clubs, and any other private organization. All right, let's move on to the introduction of our presentation. And Korea has a 5,000 years long history, but a lot of people know about Korea compared to China and Japan. So we have selected 50 achievements to Korea's past, dating from ancient to pre-modern times. And these achievements, which can be regarded as among one of the greatest culture and artistic legacies. So we call them 50 wonders of Korea. So one example wonders is printing press. You know, in Europe, the movable metal type were invented for the first time by Gutenberg in 1455. Most of you already know that, I learned from the school, but actually, the movable metal type were invented in Korea in 1234, 200 years before Gutenberg. And Korea is also home to many other inventions and innovations. According to the Science Encyclopedia published in Japan in 1987, during the 15th century, there were 62 scientific inventions in the whole world, and 29 scientific inventions from Korea, and 5 from China, none from Japan, and 28 from the rest of the world. Yeah. And 15th century Korea was of the time of King Sejong, who commissions those 29 scientific inventions. And then we brought of course, our books. We published the complimentary books for you, and then we available the King Sejong's books over there too. So later you can pick it up if you want it. And his sole reason for pursuing those inventions was to benefit his people. So I think his compassion for his common people is true spiritual tradition, which we'd like to share with you today. This was our first film, 50 Wonders of Korea. And this artifact testifies to Korea's tremendous vitality and perseverance, as well as deep love for nature and peace. Then, as you saw today, the 50 Wonders of Korea are the culmination of the Korean spiritual tradition, which is compassion, devotion, and persistence. And now we are going to reenact the Korean traditional wedding ceremony. And then after the second film, we're going to do the memorial service and the New Year's Day ceremony too. So these rituals will give you an idea of the Korean traditional values, such as respect each other and devotion to parents, or the importance of honoring the one's ancestors too. And then you will see also that everything in the ceremony has its own special meanings, and then we are going to explain that as the ceremony takes place. So here goes the wedding ceremony.
To understand the culture of a country is to understand its history and spiritual heritage. Today we'll learn about Korean culture by watching Kapdo's wedding. After a long preparation between the two families, Couple is traveling to the bride's house for the wedding ceremony. Weddings were traditionally held in the bride's household. His entourage is carrying two wooden wild geese. The wild geese symbolize fidelity and abundant offspring, since it was believed that a wild geese would only mate once in its lifetime and produce many offspring. Once couple arrives in the bride's house, a pre-wedding ceremony is held, which involves presenting the wooden wild geese to the bride's mother. By giving the wild geese to the bride's mother, the groom is making a promise to her that he will be a devoted husband. Couple has arrived at the bride's household. He has placed the wild geese before the bride's mother. And now he is bowing down 4 times towards the north to reverently announce the marriage before the heavens. The bride's mother accepts the groom's presentation of the wild geese. And now the bride can go to the wedding ceremony with the groom. Couple is leading his bride to the area where the wedding ceremony will be held. On the wedding table, there are blue and red candles, a vase with bamboo branches, another vase with pine branches, Asian dates, and chestnuts. The color red represents the groom, as it is the color of yang, and the color blue represents the bride, since it is the color of yin. The bamboo and pine branches represent unwavering fidelity. Because the Asian dates and chestnuts represent longevity and many offspring, they are always placed on the wedding table. Before the actual wedding, the bride and the groom wash their hands as an act of purifying their minds and body. Next, the bride and the groom bow down to each other as a promise to live with respect for each other. The bride's 2 bows and the groom's 1 bow is based on the principle of yin and yang. Since bride represents the yin, she bows twice, 2 being the lowest yin number. Likewise, 1 being the lowest yang number, the groom bows once.
The bride and the groom will bow to each other. First, the bride will bow twice. Bride bow once. Bride, repeat the bow. The groom will bow once in response to the bride's bow. Groom, bow once.
The bride and the groom will now offer up their drinks, first to the heaven and next to the earth, in order to finalize the wedding vows before the heavens and earth. Now they will share a drink from the same cup, which symbolizes the two people coming together as one. Next, the wedding will be announced to the world and the heavens by reverently reading the statement to the heavens. It is being read by Kapdol's elder brother, Kapshik.
I reverently report to the heavens that on this day, in the year of the tiger, a good man and good woman have exchanged their wedding vows before their parents and many honored guests. The groom Kaptol is a son of the Ham family. The bride Kapsun is a daughter of the Gam family. Before today, they stood on this earth as a separate individuals. Now that they have met each other due to the grace of the heavens, they will try to stand together firmly as a husband and wife. It is the heavenly duty for two imperfect people to come together as one and pursue perfection. But how could it be possible to do so without the help of the heavens? May the heavens bestow upon these two people bright radiance. May they always respect their parents who raised them. May they never lose sympathy for those in need. And may they always be in good health. And may their household always be filled with the laughter of healthy sons and beautiful daughters. We now announce with utmost reverence before the heavens that these two people are united as one.
The bride and the groom will now bow to each other as the conclusion of the wedding. After the wedding, Kapdol and Kapsun will stay at Kapsun's house for the next 3 days and leave for Kapdol's house together. Once they arrive at Kapdol's house, Kapsun will meet her in-laws formally for the first time. The ceremony that takes place during this first formal meeting is called pebek. This ceremony takes place in an area of the main living room that is sectioned off with a folding screen. The groom's father sits in the east side, and the groom's mother sits in the west. Traditionally, separate ceremonies were held for the mother and the father. Today we'll only show mother's ceremony. The bride and the groom bow to them, showing their respect to the parents and ancestors. They express their respect by lowering their heads, which is the most important part of the body, to the floor. After bowing to Kapdol's mother, they are now offering a drink to her. After offering their drinks, the mother is throwing chestnuts and Asian dates to Kapsun and wishing them happiness in their marriage and many, many grandchildren. The Asian dates and chestnuts that she threw symbolize the many grandchildren to come. The Asian dates represent fertility and preservation of the family line. The chestnuts symbolize chastity and longevity. The newlyweds are now bowing to the elder brother and his wife. In return, the elder brother and his wife are bowing down to them as well. Koreans traditionally expressed their respect to their parents and ancestors by bowing down to them. They express their respect by lowering their heads, which is the most important part of the body, to the floor. This tradition is still practiced to this day on New Year's Day and during ancestral rites. Thank you. Koreans traditionally held memorial rites for their parents and ancestors even after they passed away, in order to thank them for their love and care. There are two types of memorial rites. One is called 차례 and the other is called 제사. 차례 is performed on holidays such as the New Year's Day. 제사 is performed on the anniversary of the parents' or ancestors' death. Today, we'll watch a 제사 being performed by Kapsik's family. As you can see here, a memorial rite involves the offering of food to the ancestors. The offering will usually consist of meat, fish, fruit, vegetable, and grain. Once the ceremony is over, the family will share the food with each other. The head of the household is making an offering of incense to the parents. He is also making an offering of wine to the parents with the help of his younger brother. The younger brother is placing the spoon in the rice bowl and the chopsticks on the parents' favorite dishes so that the spirit of the parents can enjoy the food. The elder brother will now read the statement of memorial right to his deceased parents.
On this day of the year of the tiger, your good sons and daughter respectfully make these offerings. Father and mother, another year has gone by, and the anniversary of father's passing is upon us again. As we cannot forget all the things you have done for us, which was as great as the heavens itself, and our love for you is ever so great. We have prepared clear wine and various food for you to pay our utmost gratitude. May you accept our humble offerings and enjoy them.
The soup on the offering table is prepared with three main ingredients, which are meat, vegetable, and seafood. They symbolize the heaven, the earth, and the man. Three different vegetables, white bellflower root, black bracken stem, and green watercress leaf, are also on the offering table. The root represents the ancestor. The stem represents the parents, and the leaf represents the descendants. The watercress also symbolizes prosperity of descendants, since it grows well even in an ever-changing environment. The younger brother is exchanging water bowls with soup bowls. He is placing the chopsticks on the fruit and washing the spoon in the water. The reason that they turned around was to give the spirit of the parents some time to finish the offering of food. The three different pan-fried dishes also have their own meanings. By offering three different pan-fried dishes made up of meat, seafood, and vegetable, the children hope that the parents may have the various food that the nature has to offer. Pollock is the most representative fish of the East Sea in Korea. Since it usually lays many eggs, it symbolizes abundant offspring and wealth. An ancestral memorial rite has always been an important part of Korean people. It is an act of respecting and paying gratitude. Even to this day, most Korean households perform ancestral memorial rites. Thank you.
Offerings to the ancestors. Koreans perform their first greeting of the year to the elders by bowing down to them. They express their respect for their parents and their elders by bowing down to them. And traditionally, when parents became old, children did not let their parents live by themselves. Instead, they supported their parents with good food and clothes until the very end. Koreans believe that a parent's love was as high as the grace of the heavens. And even to this day, some people follow this tradition. Today, Koreans bow to their parents and the elders only on the New Year's Day and on other special occasions. However, in the old days, they bowed to their parents every morning. Now, the children are bowing down to their mother with utmost respect as the first greeting of the year. After the bow, the mother wishes her children Happy New Year and Healthy New Year. And she wishes them good fortune for the rest of the year. And the children respond to them by saying, "Mother, have a Happy New Year." Now, after the ceremony, the mother is giving her youngest daughter some money as she wishes her good fortune. Now, until the 19th century, the elders usually gave the New Year's food instead of money, such as wine and meat for the adults or rice cake and fruit for children. By continuing this tradition of sebae, Koreans carry on this practice of hyo, or filial devotion, to this day. Now, after performing the ceremony of sebae at home, Koreans usually went to their teachers and other elders' homes to perform the same ceremony. because in Korea, teachers were given the same respect as their parents.
Thank you. Very nice. As a conclusion, the Korea was founded upon the principle of 홍익인간, which means to live and work for the benefit of all mankind. And this has been the guiding light and the philosophy that has sustained the whole 5,000 years of our history, both in the times of glory and hardships. Actually, following this philosophy, Korea has never invaded other countries during our 5,000 years history. And from ancient times, the many enlightened teachers lived in Turkey in Korea, and these teachers educated people in many ways to respect nature and heavens, and practice compassion and kindness toward others. So what I'm most proud of about Korean culture, I think, is a spiritual tradition, which is compassion, devotion, and perseverance, instilled from all the artifacts to modern technology and innovations. And I hope you have gathered some useful information about the country that is re-emerging as a leading cultural forces of the world. And we have prepared the Korean traditional meals, and you may not find some of our dishes at the local Korean restaurants because the dishes we used to serve only for the royal family, like such as shrimp with the pineapple sauce. And I want to point out the message of the Korean culture, Korean food actually. The kimchi, actually Korean dishes, 70% of the Korean dishes are fermented, which means very healthy. So you know the kimchi, the fermented cabbage, the Health magazine claims the kimchi, the fermented cabbage, is one of the 5 healthiest food in the world because kimchi has 100 times more probiotics than yogurt has. So please enjoy that. Then we have the complementary books of our Korean history and culture. The later you can take the one book, and the lanterns. It's gonna be the later you can take the home if you want it. And then we also brought the Korean traditional customs. If you want the try on, you're welcome to try on. And then take a picture too. Yeah. So there you go. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you so much to this Korean culture and this Korean spirit and cultural promotional project and all these wonderful people and all the work they did, and hope everybody had a wonderful time. And I'd like to thank Yoon Hee, where is she over there, and Junku Konchat, yes, Krochati, and Yoon Han. Oh, they are changed. Oh, okay. And Yoon Han, and Yong Suk Han, Yang Jun Min, and Cheng Yun Lee, Kang Park, she's the one who's the host, and then Hang Chang Kwan. And as all of you know, that all the hard work they did and the presentation and everything was excellent, and we had really had a good time. And now you enjoy the meal they prepared. Thank you.
Yeah, get it on the way around.
It looks delicious. It is the famous kimchi. So it has to try once. I don't know if you ever tried before, so it's going to be kind of really inspiring. I did it there one.